Hey folks, and welcome once again to the Gesundheit Kitchen. My name is Hans Rufert, and I am the skinny chef, the chef with no stomach. I've been called worse, but the gist, of course, is I have no stomach left after my stomach cancer diagnosis and subsequent surgeries, and I'm always trying to sort of MacGyver nutrition into my system as much as possible, always thinking about how do I get good nutrition and the maximum nutrition out of the foods that I eat. So you hear a lot about probiotics, and probiotics really are the good bacteria, and that's something I could talk about literally for hours, and so you're going to have to shut me up here shortly. But there are several natural foods that contain natural probiotics, and miso is one of my favorites. And one of the easiest and most classic way to prepare miso is really to make a simple miso soup. And so you have to think of this as being alive, because it is. The bacteria inside the miso not only give it its unique flavor, but it also give it its great digestive properties. So I never want to bring the miso soup to a boil. In fact, I had some water in the kettle that I brought to a quick boil, turned it off so it's still hot, but not so hot that it's going to kill off the bacteria. So it really couldn't be more simple. I'm going to take a good spoonful. I'm going to make two different kind of preparations here so you can see a couple of variations. So I've got our fresh miso, and on one of them I'm going to use some rice, and on the other I'm going to use some tofu. Now tofu, a lot of folks are a little bit uneasy about tofu because they tried it once and they thought, you know, it just didn't taste like anything. And you're absolutely right. And I always tell people that it's like going into an art supply store and buying a white canvas and hanging it on the wall and going, this picture doesn't look like anything. Well, it's not really meant to taste like much in this state. So you're going to have to add some flavor to it because the miso has a wonderful flavor to it. So I'm just going to put some nice cubes of the tofu in here, and you can kind of rough crumble them to be, you know, bite-sized, but lots of protein here, and that's what I'm looking for. Always trying to sneak more protein into my diet. And now I'm going to take our hot, again, not boiling at this point, but nice and hot water. And if you've made stock, you can always use stock. That's a great option. But essentially, you're making a bit of a miso stock here right now, and I want that to sit for a bit, and I'll stir this up. But a couple of flavoring elements. I do like to get a little bit of a salt kick to that, and so rather than using soy sauce, I like using liquid amino acids, and I use this quite often as a soy sauce alternative. And you know, I'd say it's about depending on how salty you like it, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. I'll do a little drop of toasted sesame oil, and you know, just again, a little goes a long way, and you'll see that it kind of separates, so we'll mix that together. I like using something called Hon Dashi, and Hon Dashi is a fish stock, but if you're vegan or vegetarian or you don't like fish, you can totally omit that. So I'm just going to do a little of the Hon Dashi into the one with the tofu. And then into the other one, I'm going to use, say, rice seasoning. I've heard it pronounced furikake and furakak. So I'm not sure if it's how the pronunciation is, but it is delicious, and it's usually a mix of seaweed, sesame seeds. Sometimes it'll have dried shiso leaves. So there's several different varieties of this rice seasoning, and but that also goes incredibly well. And you can see the color kind of wakes up in there too. So this for breakfast is not only delicious, but it is full of those probiotics that help reestablish the good gut bacteria. And Japanese, Korean folks swear by it, and this is a typical breakfast. You do want to kind of work that clump out. The miso will kind of tend to want to stick together, so you have to kind of work that out. It'll be a little on the cloudy side, but the smell is fantastic. The little bit of sesame oil goes a long way, and that will make an incredible breakfast, lunch, late night pick-me-up, or if you're feeling a little under the weather, it's a great way to kind of recharge, reboost, reinvigorate your immune system, and a very, very simple thing to do. All right, I'm going to let these guys sit for a second and enjoy, probably share this with one of my crew here. But I just wanted to share that the concept of probiotics. We'll talk about it quite often, but miso is a great place to start and a delicious one as well. Until next time, take care of yourself. Gesundheit.